Stay with us. We're getting some more breaking news. Now, this is on the ongoing tussle between the LG and the Delhi government. Now, the Delhi LG has responded to Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia's letter in which the latter had alleged that inquiries triggered by the LG office are illegal and unconstitutional. LG Saxena has accused Kejriwal of dereliction of duty, says that on various issues, the Chief Minister doesn't sign files, which is unconstitutional. Pallavi continues to be with us on the phone. Pallavi, so the war of words between the two sides continues to escalate.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And this is also just, this letter comes in after a recent statement which came in from the Delhi Chief Minister, where he said, my wife also doesn't complain as much as, the LG does and scolds me. This has invited a lot of rebuke from the BJP also. And in this case, the LG also saying that instead of answering the objections or questions we raise of you, you dodged the issue by indulging in frivolous talk. Over here is a long list of things not done or not responded to by the Delhi government. And one of them, of course, happens to be on the fact that there was a direction which had gone in from the LG that you have to pin down responsibility. All files have to be signed by the Chief Minister or the ministers. That is still not being done. Or questions that we have been asked by the CBC on various scams, whether it's the EPC scam, the power project, so on. Again, no satisfactory response has come in, or either no response even has come in. I don't think this war of words are going to be ending anytime soon. The relations between the LG's office and that of the Delhi government, Ayushman, have never really been smooth. Not just with the present LG, but even his predecessor. And, as those allegations come up of scams on excise policy, I think that confrontation is increasing, and especially with elections round the corner in Gujarat particularly. And of course, the Delhi Chief Minister accusing the LG's office by working according to diktats of the central government.
I'm also joined by Rupashree Nanda on the phone line. Rupashree, now this war of words, as Pallavi is also pointing out, continues to escalate. And this comes as the Aam Aadmi Party is under constant pressure when it comes to the anti-corruption investigations.
Yes, Ayushman, and what is important to note over here is that the Lieutenant Governor has actually spent a lot of time and replied in detail to each and every charge that has been levelled by the Aam Aadmi Party or its government or ministers. And this letter specifically responds to the letter that Manish Sisodia had written to the Lieutenant Governor. Remember, he's the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, and he had, in that letter, actually said that post the verdict of the Supreme Court on the demarcation of powers between the Lieutenant Governor's office and the Chief Minister's office, except for land, police and public order, every other subject comes under the domain of the elected government. And therefore, when the Lieutenant Governor is sparking inquiries in almost every department, that he had argued that it is unconstitutional and illegal. And Lieutenant Governor's letter today to the Chief Minister essentially is an answer to all those charges, in which he has clearly said that he has pointed out that he has begun by responding to the Manish Sisodia's letter, and also has referred to a lot of charges that have been made against him by various Aam Aadmi Party functionaries. And he has detailed each and every point, beginning with the excise policy, and he has asked whether after his inquiry into the excise policy, the government was forced to withdraw it. So was it a right step or not a right step? And then again he has said that should he not have inquired into the CVC report on the school rooms that allegedly have been built but have stopped as toilets, and he has also pointed out that post his intervention, the Chief Minister has also now started to sign on files, and he has also spent a lot of time in saying that Aam Aadmi Party levels various charges against various people. They have done that in the past, and for those particular cases, whether it was about the late Arun Jaitley or Nitin Gadkari or even Vikram Singh Majid, Arvind Kejriwal was forced to apologize. And he has argued that this is a diversionary tactics of the Aam Aadmi Party. And he has ended his letter by saying that he owes allegiance only to the Constitution of India. So yes, it is a very detailed reply. It is important to note that the Lieutenant Governor over here is also clarifying his stand and making it very clear that his allegiance is to the Constitution of the country, and also try to argue that after his intervention that various actions have been happening in the Delhi government also.
Right, and Rupashree, at the same time, this fight has gotten only uglier between the Delhi government and the LG, where the Delhi government has, I think for the first time, accused the LG of directly being involved in a corruption scandal.
Yes, actually it was the Aam Aadmi Party which had alleged that Lieutenant Governor also is involved indirectly in a corruption scandal. Actually, but the Lieutenant Governor's office actually, or the Lieutenant Governor himself, they moved the courts on this, and they have the court has essentially directed Aam Aadmi Party people not to refer to those cases, and in fact also take down all the tweets alleging various kinds of corruptions against the Lieutenant Governor. So in that case, the Lieutenant Governor actually has won a victory of sorts over the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, where the verdict in the court has actually gone in the favor of the Lieutenant Governor. And yes, the relationship between the Lieutenant Governor's office and the Chief Minister's office, it can be said, is at an all-time low, and it has been going downhill ever since the Lieutenant Governor actually gave the go-ahead to the CBI to inquire into the alleged scam in Delhi's excise policy. And since then, there has been no moment of a comfortable communication or a constructive communication between the two offices, and it is likely to get only worse by the day, because as you can see, as we have reported, almost every other day, the Lieutenant Governor actually, through his office, initiates some sort of an inquiry into almost every department of the government of Delhi. Absolutely. And that is making the government of Delhi, or the elected government, extremely uncomfortable.
Rupashree, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm joined by RP Singh, BJP spokesperson, on the phone line. Mr. Singh, your first reaction to the charge coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party that once again the LG is no more than a BJP agent who's hindering the work of the Delhi government.
Well, if LG is asking Delhi government to follow the rule book, they say he's a BJP person. If the Chief Secretary says that I would not sign a file which is not as per the rule book, or he raises a red flag on the policies or the documentation which they do without following the rule book, well, obviously they prove they are anarchists, and they have been claiming themselves they are anarchists, and now they are proving it, that they are anarchists. They don't believe in the constitution, they don't believe in rule book.
Right. And Mr. Singh, at the same time, the charge coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party that these kind of tactics are being used to corner the Delhi government because you are spooked with the party's rise in Gujarat.
Well, it's laughable. I mean, they said the same thing about Uttaranchal, and they said the same thing about UP also, and Goa also. And they lost the deposit in almost all the seats which they contested in all these states. So they can keep claiming, they can keep testing the factors. They are trying to use this as an escape way for not answering the questions, the valid questions raised by the Delhi administration and the Chief Secretary, or by the Governor on behalf of the Chief Secretary about whatever scam they have done. It's basically anticipatory victimhood card which they are playing.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Singh, for joining us on CNN News 18 and giving us your perspective in this ongoing fight between the Delhi LG and the Aam Aadmi Party government. Now, in connection with the Delhi excise policy scam, the Enforcement Directorate has seized 1 crore from the home of a businessman in the capital. This happened this morning. Now, as per sources, the businessman is one of the accused in the Delhi liquor policy scam. Following the seizure of the cash, the ED will now summon the accused to join the investigation. The businessman's house was searched after the probe agency conducted raids at more than 35 locations across Punjab, Delhi and Andhra Pradesh on Friday. The raids were conducted after the interrogation of Sameer Mahendru. So that's what's coming in when it comes to the Delhi excise policy scam. Now what we are learning is that a massive cash haul has been made from the home of a businessman in the capital. Now, this seizure was made today morning. Those visuals on your screen, a massive CNN News 18 exclusive where this massive cash haul has come in from this home of a businessman in connection to the Delhi excise policy scam. Now, as per sources, the businessman is one of the accused in the Delhi liquor policy scam. Now, following the seizures of the cash, the ED will now summon the accused to join the investigation. He'll be interrogated by the agency to make sense of the entire money trail and the modus operandi of this entire alleged scam. Also, the businessman's house was searched after the probe agency conducted raids at more than 35 locations across Punjab, Delhi and Andhra Pradesh. So a pan-India nexus is what the agency is looking into. Those raids took place on Friday and they were those raids were conducted after the interrogation of Sameer Mahindru. So the Aam Aadmi Party continues to be under fire, and as we have been reporting, that war with the Delhi LG Saxena continues to escalate as well. The war of words is only escalating. So what's the new development that's coming in is that those visuals on your screen, that cash has been seized from the home of a businessman in the capital. The seizure is of almost 1 crore. I'm joined by my colleague Shankar Anand to get the latest on the investigation into the Delhi excise policy scam. Shankar, over to you.
देखिए, जिस तरह से केंद्रीय जांच एजेंसी ईडी के द्वारा एक बड़ी कार्रवाई को अंजाम देते हुए जिस तरह से 1 करोड़ रुपया बरामद किया गया है, इस मामले में इस पैसे से संबंधित अन्य जो कनेक्शन है उसको खंगाला जा रहा है कि आखिर इस पैसे को, इतने बड़े रकम को आखिर क्यों जमा किया गया था। क्या इसका जो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग करने के लिए यहाँ पे लाया गया था या मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के तहत इस पैसे को कहीं और भेजना था। इन तमाम मामलों की पड़ताल की जा रही है और जिस तरह से इस पैसे को बरामद किया गया है, तो पैसे को बरामद करने के बाद उस संबंधित कारोबारी से पूछा भी गया कि पैसा कहाँ से लाया गया, तो लेकिन उस मामले में कोई भी उचित तरीके से जवाब नहीं दी गई। लिहाजा इसी बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए उस पैसे को जब्त किया गया है और अभी उस पैसे से संबंधित और उस कारोबारी से संबंधित अभी भी इस मामले में इन्वेस्टिगेशन की जा रही है। ईडी के द्वारा लगातार उस कारोबारी से पूछताछ की जा रही है और कहा जा सकता है कि इस मामले में जैसे जैसे तफ्तीश का दायरा आगे बढ़ता जाएगा, कई और भी जानकारियां सामने आ सकती हैं और इस मामले में कुछ और भी गिरफ्तारियां देखने को मिल सकती है। जिस तरह से कल से ये छापेमारी प्रारंभ हुई, 35 लोकेशन पर सर्च ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दिया गया था, जिसमें कि विशेष तौर पर राजधानी दिल्ली, पंजाब और हैदराबाद में सर्च ऑपरेशन को अंजाम दिया गया। तो कहा जा सकता है कि आज भी इस मामले में इन्वेस्टिगेशन कई लोकेशन पे की जा रही है और कल से लेकर अभी तक जो तमाम जो दस्तावेज सीज किए गए हैं उसको बकायदा आगे खंगालने का काम जांच एजेंसी के द्वारा किया जा रहा है।
Right. Thank you, Shankar Anand, for joining us on the phone line and getting us the latest in the investigation. We're getting some more breaking news. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde meets the victims of the Nashik bus tragedy. As of now, 12 people have lost their lives and 19 people have been injured in that horrific accident which took place in Nashik. Those are the visuals on your screen. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde meeting the injured at the local hospital, trying to ascertain that they're getting all the help that they need in the wake of that gruesome event which took place in Nashik. Now what we are learning is that as many as 12 people have been killed and 19 have been injured in this horrific incident which has taken place in Nashik. And those visuals on your screen, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde inquiring about the health of those injured who are receiving medical treatment. Eknath Shinde leading the charge, trying to ensure that those who have been injured in this horrific incident which has taken place in Nashik are getting all the help that they need. Remember, compensation has also been announced by both the state government as well as the central government for the families of those who died in this horrific incident which took place in Nashik. So as of now, what we are learning is that 12 people have perished in this Nashik fire bus tragedy and 19 have been injured. The injured are receiving treatment as of now, and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde over there leading the charge to ensure that they are getting all the help that they need, that the medical facilities are on track for them to ensure that they make a speedy recovery. And as I was saying, compensation has also been announced for the families of the victims who died in this bus tragedy. Eknath Shinde there meeting the families as well of both the deceased as well as the injured.